Gojo's cursed energy pool functionally infinite thanks to the efficiency of his six eyes? Yes and no. Let's talk about it, but spoilers beware. All right, first of all, shout out to Jaeger for asking me to talk about this today. So let's break this down. And first and foremost, the reason people say Gojo has an endless supply of cursed energy is because of his six eyes, but specifically because of the efficiency they allow him. As Yuta points out here, Gojo basically loses no cursed energy whenever he activates a technique, which implies that most people do lose cursed energy when they activate a technique. There's just a level of inefficiency that comes with wielding cursed energy. But thanks to the six eyes, Gojo is basically able to be almost 100% efficient. And Yuta goes on to say, I can run out of cursed energy, but Gojo can't. So a lot of people will take that statement and run with it, thinking that Gojo literally cannot run out of cursed energy no matter what, under any circumstances. And I don't believe that's what Yuta was saying. He was speaking kind of generically, like, yeah, because of those six eyes, like, Gojo's never gonna run out. Like, that's how efficient he is. However, when the Gojo and Sukuna fight happens, we have this discussion of all of the sorcerers when they're talking about why they aren't using their domains. And Gojo's efficiency is brought up, saying that, he can never run out of cursed energy. But Ino says, well, that's because his efficiency is extraordinary, but this is a bit of a different situation, right? Because that's just assuming like his regular day-to-day functioning in sorcery. Here, we're talking about consecutive opening of domains. Like, this is a bit of an extreme situation. Let's take a look at a real-world analogy here to help explain this, okay? This is one of the greatest long-distance runners ever, okay? So if we take him, put him outside and say, hey, walk in a straight line as slow as you want, but just go for as long as you can. He's going to be able to walk damn near forever, okay? Because his endurance is just on another level. His body is efficient in conserving its energy in that way. Similar to how Gojo's cursed energy efficiency with the six eyes is nearly limitless when he's just doing normal activity, or even, some activity, but not a lot, right? But let's change this and say, hey, every other mile, you have to full-on sprint as hard and as fast as you can for an entire mile, and then you can walk for a little bit afterwards. He's going to get gassed very, very, very soon, okay? The same man that could have walked for forever will still run out of energy if you put him at a high exertion level. I believe the same is true of Gojo. In a situation where he is just spamming domains over and over and using RCT, which is incredibly taxing, repeatedly in order to heal himself, he could feasibly run out of cursed energy. But the reality is there are virtually no scenarios that would ever put Gojo in the situation to potentially run out, except for in a matchup like Sukuna. So yes, the cursed energy efficiency essentially allows him to operate infinitely with cursed energy, but not literally, not under every circumstance. Then finally, Jaeger asked me, if Gojo had won, do I think he would have suffered any permanent consequences from the brain damage he suffered? And it's a good question, because this looks pretty rough, but honestly, I would lean toward no, because even with this brain damage, the man was still fighting actively and doing everything normally. It's just that he couldn't open his domain. Right? And the same was true of Sukuna because of his brain damage, right? We know that ultimately Sukuna found a new path to his domain, but I think that Sukuna would have gotten even his regular domain back if we had given him a chance to recover and heal. So because Gojo and Sukuna are both so good at RCT, I don't think there would have been permanent damage from this, but again, really we don't know.